serious problems.
Right, Mika. What's your serious problem, mate?
My scariest problem is actually that if you look at the scenery behind our guest, like somewhere at the top of that hill, that's where I used to start with the skiing again, like 6 or 7 years ago or 8 years ago. That's kind of where I was de-illusionized. And then also we're at the location now where I was re-illusionized a few years ago that I thought I could ski. So it's kind of a cool place to be here. And not only is it a cool place, we have a fucking cool guest as well with a cool story, which is not your standard Scandinavian skier story. Good skier story. Maybe we should put it like that.
Yeah.
Jasmi Joensuu, welcome to the podcast. So cool that you're here now.
Thank you so much. It's really cool to be here.
What's the main thing that your story differs from every other insanely good skier on the World Cup team in any Scandinavian country?
I believe it's the US part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. That was one of my questions. Now I'm like, you've brought me one of my questions. But yeah, tell us, so you went, we can give a little bit of background to our listeners. So you're a Finnish skier, went to university in, not Boulder, Denver, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denver, Colorado. And then you came back and then you got selected to World Cup and went all the steps. And then last year you got your first World Cup podium and you won the Sprint Globe.
Yeah.
You got also a medal in a relay in Oberstdorf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a good sum up? Is there anything else that I missed?
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question, and we're just going to go straight there. When you're a quite good Finnish skier, why do you choose the path to go to ski for college in the US, where usually Scandinavian people will go to kind of like have a bit of fun and enter careers, and they all just get drunk for 3 years, and then you kind of came back, and then you were somehow really good.
Actually, there's more people that go to the US as like a pre-retirement thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel that there are some athletes that come back and are better after.
But that's very few.
There's not that many.
Yeah, I think it's only a few of us who have made it to the World Cup. But yeah, that's a good question. I was 18 back then, and I really had a dream to study abroad. And then when I was in high school, I was thinking, okay, I go to Norway. But then I was like, I don't know the language. So why should I go to Norway? But then after the high school, I was pretty much like okay skier. I made it like top 12 in the Finnish championships in the sprint, but not quite there. And you know, like when you're top 12 in Finland, it's like something, it's really hard to be financially and like all that stuff. Like, and I really wanted to have a career after skiing too. So then I was like, what should I do? And then I got actually a Facebook message from my previous coach in the US, and yeah, he made me convinced that it's a good choice. And he said that, okay, like you probably have heard like there are people who quit after this, but there's fully a big chance that you can be better skier. And then he also said that you can also be there just 1 year and then see what happens. And
how long were you in the US then actually?
4 years.
4 years.
And what did you study?
Finance and marketing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I always been like really into school too. And I've been a good student. So then I was like, okay, I want to do this. And then part of me was like also because everyone was like saying, okay, now she's never going to ski again or she's not going to be a skier. That's what all the coaches told me and everything. So then I decided that when I go to US, like I decided that if I'm better skier after when I graduate, then I keep skiing. And then the last 2 years in college were really good or better. I wasn't still quite there, but in better shape. And I made it in the podium in the US championships. So that was cool. So then
The US championships, is that the same as the NCAA thing, or is that different?
In the US nationals.
Okay,
championship. Yeah, sorry.
Man,
US
I
nationals,
got
yeah.
no clue. You're laughing.
Yeah.
You don't have any clue
No.
either.
Yeah,
so-
I have a clue. Yeah.
No, you don't.
But yeah.
NCAA's is like the university championship.
I thought it might be the same thing.
Yeah, but also I think the level at that time was pretty high too. We
Oh.
had really good Norwegians, really good Swedish skiers, really good German skier, and really good skiers. So it was perfect for me. And also the part, like you were saying about partying, like of course it's a college, so you experience all these things, other things too. But also I'm 18 years old, so I believe that you have to experience it someday. And like I believe it's better to experience it when you're 18 and not like 35 or after your ski career. You know.
I think both me and Mika are just a bit jealous that we didn't do it. It's
No,
like,
but
it
I
sounds
had-
awesome. To be
It
honest.
sounds like
Yeah.
so
It's-
much fun.
it's
to be
It
just-
was fun.
honest.
Yeah.
It's just like training with your mates, going to school with your
Yeah.
mates, and then just getting hammered with your mates.
Yeah. But I think
Sounds like the dream to me, to be honest.
yeah, but also like you mentioned all the things, like you have to study, you have to train, you have to also have a social life. So then that was a bit of a problem for the first 2 years because I wanted to do everything 100%.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, like I have to choose something. Like if I want to be a better skier, then I have to like let some studying go, because I was at the library at 3 a.m. and our practice started at 7 a.m. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is not enough sleep. So the life was brutal. And I have to say, like, right now, I don't want to live like that right now. But
Yeah.
by that time, it was great.
Yeah.
I think the problem is just when you go to the US and you hear all these stories of like I know some people that have been to the US and it just, or when you talk to Ben Ogden, for example, like Ben Ogden thinks that college skiing is the best thing that ever happened to the world.
Yeah.
And I just think it'd be so much fun. It'd be disappointing to go back afterwards to be like, oh, wait, now like with all these boring people that just want to ski fast and they are not up for getting hammered all the time.
No, but the thing was that, like, okay, like it sounds like you party all the time and stuff, but it's not like that when you're a
Yeah.
college athlete. You have to be good at school also. You have to make good results so you stay at the team. So it's like, for me, it was like, I wanted to be a better skier too, not only like partying and stuff.
Who was the coach then in Denver? Was it the Finnish coach?
No, we had a US coach. That was like the luckiest thing ever happened to me, because David Stewart was our coach, and he's like really great person. He's now working in Steamboat as a sport director or something like this. But he was a great guy. And then we had a Norwegian coach who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But yeah, but he was also one of those people who told me after 2 years, like, we want to have you here for 2 more years and we trust you. So I feel like the coaches there made a great thing too.
Yeah, I think, or like, yeah, I think that's just also the impression we have as like World Cup skiers, that everybody's just partying. But I think there's a lot of coaches that try to make the athletes good. And there's also, or I feel the universities like in Utah or Colorado, they're like really trying to be like at the high end of the research, and like they have roller ski treadmill and they really try to maximize everything. But of course you have to study at the same time, so you maybe cannot like have a full-time training program. You can't train like 1,200 hours if you're studying on the side. So I think they're doing a good job for US skiing in a way.
Not only for US skiing, I think for skiing in general.
Yeah.
But then fast forward to, okay, you go to the US in,
What year?
2015.
and then you come back 2019.
Yeah.
And then you decide, okay, you want to keep on skiing and
Yeah.
you want to ski good.
Yeah,
How-
it was easy because I got 2 medals in the US Nationals in the sprint. So then I was like, okay, like I want to keep skiing. And for the first year, I actually changed.
They got a dog walking around here. So.
There's
That's
like a
what
dog.
we're-
I was like, what's licking my
Yeah.
hand under the table? It's not me, guys. It's the dog. And he's also knocking on the microphone.
It's just my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really wanted to keep skiing because enjoyed it. And also like one of the biggest part I haven't talked about it is that after I graduated, I got this like weird feeling. It's a great feeling that I didn't have any pressure for the future. You know, like a lot of skiers think like, what happens if they are not making money out of this, if they don't make a career out of this? And then they're so stressed, like, okay, should I study something? What I'm gonna do after ski career? So then after these 4 years, I graduated. So then I know what I'm gonna do after the ski career. So that was, I think the biggest thing was that I didn't get any stress out of that after I graduated. Yeah. So then it was easy for me, like, okay, I'm gonna try 2 years, and I still have the papers with me, so I can go and work if it doesn't work.
But the crazy thing is that you graduated in marketing, and then you thought it was a good idea to join
finance.
the podcast. Finance and marketing, and then you thought it was a good idea.
That's why I'm here, you know.
Join
we
the
have
podcast.
to be here so we can get more.
But you went into one topic there, which we're actually curious about, because you hear all these rumors all the time from World Cup and everywhere. You were talking a bit about the economic side of skiing. Now we're in Ruka in Finland. I feel that like every Finnish person ever is stoked about cross-country skiing finally being on television again. How is it actually possible that the Finnish Ski Federation just keeps on coming with all these financial struggles and stuff? Or do you not have any insight into that?
That's a good question. I don't know, because it's like, you know, this is like the greatest thing ever.
It literally is in Ruka.
Yeah. But I think they're doing a really good job right now. They're getting the situation better, and we actually had a meeting yesterday where they told us like it's getting better, and we hope that it's also a lot to do with us, because we are the people actually representing the ski federation, you know. So of course, like when we do well and when we show like who we are as a people and like good people and stuff, then maybe the companies also come and support us. So I think it's a lot to do with the skiers too, not only the people who are working in the ski federation. But
and that actually is so true, because I feel like the Finnish like temperament a bit is like, especially skiers, they're like a bit like nerds and like to like just ski in the woods by themselves, and like really into like kind of core sports people, but not necessarily so big on like social media and so on.
But
like,
they actually are, if you look at
like
them.
No, but that's like a one thing. I think it's a problem because our like, you know, nowadays social media is such a big part of this whole thing. Like, of course, we have to train a lot. We have to use all the energy for training and recovering. But then also we have to use time for this media thing, because it's like nowadays it's so important.
Yeah.
And if we look at the best skiers in the world, Johannes made a movie, and there he is crushing the whole world every day. So it's like, you know, like we can do more, I think, as skiers.
Obviously, as a skier, you can do more. But for me, to just get all the kind of, to say it's the athletes that don't do their things right, and it's the athletes that are causing these problems, then I'm like, yeah, but come on, look at the ski federations. Like, it's them that set out the guidelines.
That's
it's
true,
like them that say this you can say, this you can't say, this is how you can act, this is how you cannot act, this is where you can go on television, this is where you cannot go on television. And then they have like, in my feeling, I don't know, I feel that there's like all these like kind of media right mini wars going on, and I think that that actually destroys the sport. That's my feeling.
Might be, yeah, but I also think the situation is a bit better actually right now, but also I think in Finland we are really in good position when it comes to like sports, because skiing is so big. And as a professional skier, I get good sponsors, and like it's a good situation. If you do well enough in the ski tracks, you will get sponsors and
it sounds like of talking to Alva Arlev, who's from Estonia, he was saying that in Finland and Estonia there's way more of like a sponsorship culture than in Norway, for example.
I think so, because I've heard the same, that some Norwegians, even though they are like world champions, and it's really hard situation for them, of course, because there are so many so good skiers. And the thing is that, of course, like in Finland, we have great athletes, but it's not that many. Like, it's not like 50 guys who are like battling for the spots in the World Cup. And Yeah, I think that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, but just to take it back to the one point, I think yes, athletes should take responsibility
Yeah, for sure.
about
But-
how they act and how they are. But I think actually, when you said if you look at the Finnish athletes, they're not like big on social media and stuff. I disagree so much, honestly.
Yeah, some
you're,
of us.
You're
some
good.
of
And
us,
look at
Yeah,
Ivo. Look at Per
definitely.
Knivarin, and he's the biggest legend that's ever existed
Yeah,
on
yeah, I
social
agree.
media.
I don't want to say that it's like all of us, but I think
Definitely
it's-
not all, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
But
for
then
sure.
if you still look at it as a whole, take football as a comparison, for example. And obviously, I know that it's shit to compare football with cross country skiing because it's like so different. But then, if you look at let's say a good German team, maybe Borussia Mönchengladbach, if you listen to interviews of like their players, you almost want to throw up. It's like, it's unreal. They're so bad. It's ridiculous. They just don't say anything constructive. And yet there's so much money because the team behind it just
Yeah.
puts so much effort into all this like sponsoring stuff, into the social media presence, and into marketing the sports. And I feel that that's maybe not what's happening.
Yeah, I agree
in
with
the
you.
HD
Yeah, yeah,
federations
for
all the
sure,
time.
yeah. I agree.
Mika, you've got a good point, Mika.
That's the first one.
Yeah,
First
that
one
was
on the
actually-
podcast.
And everybody's agreeing. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should disagree. Okay, give us a hot take that we're gonna disagree on.
Right,
Jasmi.
I've got a hot. Oh yeah, have you got a hot take?
No.
Right. You last year you won the sprint globe. I think you were leading quite early on as well, like maybe out from Tour de Ski approximately, I would say.
I think so, but then I
Oh, no.
lost the pip, but then I got it back.
And
Yeah.
you did, and then
Yeah.
you got it back.
Wow.
What's the one of the things that like kind of favored you was that the way it's done with the points, it's changed a few years ago now. It favors consistency, and you had only one podium last year, but you still managed to get the globe because you were like almost in every single final, and you were like both classic and skate. What do you think about the way that it's set up, the points, as it favors so much the overall results, but it doesn't favor as much the podium? Because I know that there's quite a lot of athletes that were complaining about that, and lots of athletes that wanted to change. And actually,
It's also only athletes that do lots of podiums that complain about it. I'm
anyway,
just
you
gonna
can
add that.
I can add something after, and then you can
Yeah.
answer first.
First of all, it's a cup. So
Yeah,
there's 11 sprint races last year. And if you win 5 of those and don't compete in 6 of those, is that fair for those who compete the whole season? We have world championships. We have Olympic games. There are races that you get a medal from one race, but then you have a cup. And I think it's good that if you participate, then you have a chance to win it. I've heard a lot of talk about this, and it's like, okay, I didn't make the rules and I just skied the whole season. I was healthy the whole season, which is really good thing. Also, I managed to be in top 3 in almost all of the qualifications. We all know the rules.
There you
so
get
it's
points
like-
as well for the
Yeah,
listeners. You get
exactly.
points in
And-
the qualifications as well.
Exactly, yeah. So I think the main point of a cup is that you participate, actually.
Yes.
yeah,
You know how in hockey or football or whatever sports, like the players, they don't decide like, okay, let's skip half of the games. And then will they win if they skip half of the games?
yeah.
You know?
That's. I think it's
Yeah.
a super good comparison.
Yeah,
And that's exactly
so-
everything what you said is true.
Yeah.
And every let's call it a race. It's a race for overall World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Every race has its like own specifications, what you need to be good at. And if you want to win an overall cup, you need
Yeah.
to be super consistent throughout
Yeah.
all the year.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to win the cup, but you want to win world championships, that's fair. But then don't complain if you don't compete in half of the cup and therefore not win the overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
yeah.
that's your problem and not the problem of everybody trying to be consistent in the cup
Yeah, yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine Bayern Munich, like you said, just deciding like, we're playing against Leverkusen this
Yeah.
week, and you know what? We'll just not do it. That's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think lots of athletes that like skipped some World Cups to perform better at the World Championships kind of complain like, oh yeah, but like this person has this many podiums and doesn't even like is not even in top 3 of the cup. Then it's actually, yeah, like you said, it's unfair to the person that has done all the races and has stayed healthy and has done a good job. And I
Ev-
think,
ev- 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 every race has its own specifications that you need to be good in.
yeah.
And
So you don't want to change the rules.
I mean, I think I don't change them by myself. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I just ski as fast as I can, and I think for me it was, of course, it was a big surprise after last season, like, or before the season, I didn't come there like expecting, okay, I'm gonna win the globe. But then also looking back the season, I was able to be good in every race. And that's the main point. Like for me, it was really big because I was able to do the best results in every race. And of course, like I want to win the podiums. I want to win them. But of course, I like, maybe that was the one big step I took last year was the consistency. And maybe this year I'm hoping to get the podiums again. And as you said, 5 years ago, I was still partying in the college. So
But then,
I'm happy with this.
but it's also like what changed in your like state of mind when you realized like shit, I can actually get the globe.
Well, it actually came to my mind first time like before like 3 last races, I think, because I didn't believe it. I was just like so focused for the world champs, and then we had like three more World Cup after that. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then some great athletes, they got sick, which is not my fault too.
Yeah.
I stayed healthy after World Champs, and I was like, okay, this can be possible. And I just wanted to like be super hyped and do my best. And then actually in Estonia, when we went to Tallinn, then I was like, okay, I took a flight when everyone else was taking the boat because I was so scared I get sick.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I put the mask on and the gloves on. And then I was like, okay, now I just have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that was my main focus. Like, of course, I wanted to do well, but I knew that I have to be good enough to like.
Was it really tight in Lahti? I can't remember. Could you have lost it already in Lahti or?
Yeah, it was already like before Lahti.
so where did you fix it?
In Tallinn.
In Tallinn, you
Yeah.
fixed it.
Yeah.
But so were you like looking at the result, like at the people starting races, and you're like, yes, something's not starting. Yes,
No,
she starts not
of
starting.
course not. Of course not.
A little bit.
I like highly like appreciate
I
all
would,
those
yeah.
all those people.
For
Like
sure.
I want to win all of them. Like, you know, like we go to a race. Like, of course, I was really sad when Lynn Swan didn't race in the World Champs. Like, that's the thing. Like, the best thing is that when all the best are on the same start
for
line,
sure.
Yeah.
and then when you are able to win them, that's like the best thing. And of
Yeah.
course, that's like, I never was happy when someone was gone, because that's not part of it. Like, you want to be the best of the best, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But also it's not wrong to sometimes be a bit like, "Oof,
Yeah.
it's not bad."
No, but you know, that's like one of the thing of the sport is to stay healthy too.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing. Like, you know, Ivo last year, that was really sad.
Yeah.
When he got sick and lost the world champ. So it's part of the game.
Maybe.
Also, this comes from the rumor mill. You're Finnish. We need to know it. Is it true that Ivo's never left his garage with his roller skiing shrapnel for a single day?
I don't know about this. I have
be
no
surprised.
idea.
I heard that he's just like training on his roller ski shrapnel all the time,
have
not
no
going
idea.
on training camps, going nowhere, and just.
You have to
didn't
ask
know.
him.
It sounds a lot like a rumor, but the dirty wrong rumor
Nah, it might be true as well.
could be
No.
true.
I have no idea.
Right, let's actually stop with what's happened and start to look forward to what's going to happen, because this is a big year for Skiers Problems. We've partially partnered up with FIS.
Yeah, FIS was like, oh yeah, we'll support you, but there's Mika and Jimmy on the show. There's a big percentage of chance that you're going to say some really stupid shit. So we're only going to partially support you. Because if you say something wrong, then we can say, oh, it's the partial side that didn't say anything wrong. So.
But the thing was actually, when you said that you're doing this with fish, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
So good for you.
So it brings us a bit of, now we kind of have to do things properly.
Yeah. But
more
then,
professionally.
nah.
I mean, look at this. This is cool.
It's very cool. Also, the lights in the back just turned off, which is almost a shame because I think that actually looked so good on the camera. But what's this season gonna bring for you, Jasmi? How's your summer been? Let's start there. Start at the beginning.
Summer was great. Yeah, I've been healthy, which is good. The main thing, I believe. Also, some new things. I was training a lot more in the Middle Europe. But yeah, it's been really fun to train with the national team this year. We got the group together again, and I think we have really strong team coming up. And yeah, the summer was great.
Actually, I have no idea what the sprint girls train in Finland. Like, kind of give us like a quick sum up of how like you sort of train, if it's lots of intensity, lots of volume, bit of both.
I think it depends of the season. I think like like month by month.
Yeah.
It differs so much. But I believe like we start, or at least I start pretty slow, and then I just keep increasing the intensity. And then I think the bigger months are like July, August. And of course,
What's a bigger month? How big is a big month?
You would not be impressed about my...
Yeah, but we're interested. You won the overall sprint club, not us. So there's a pretty big chance that you're doing something right and we're doing something wrong. So I would not be worried about us being impressed or not impressed.
I think it's close to like 90 hours a month.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like much more important that I do quality training every freaking day, twice a day, And when I rest, then I rest. Also, that's like, for me, it's more important. I don't look at how many hours I've been training throughout the year after the season. Of course, like, okay, I see the number, but it doesn't mean anything for me, Yeah. Like, for me, it means like, if I train 3 to 4 hours a day, how many minutes of those are good quality minutes? That's like, for me, it's more important.
But as in a way of how many of those minutes are like hard session interval minutes, or rather
it's
just
still
like
pretty much the same
training
as like
minutes?
normal distance training. Like, like sprint training, nowadays sprinting, you have to be really good also in other distances if you want to do well. So for me, like, I don't think myself as a sprinter. I also train longer distances because it's really important.
Yeah, you've done pretty good in distance races as well, actually, last year. Like, maybe not as good as a sprint, but like can we call you an all-round skier?
I hope so. I hope people don't think that I'm just a sprinter, because I've done some top 10 results also in distance. So I think it's you have to be there if you want to do well in sprint too.
Do you think that's going to be different this year? You're going to be better because like you're the same age as me, I think, or roughly. So the older we get, it's maybe easier to be better in distance than in sprint.
I don't quite think that.
Oh yeah?
I feel like I'm still better in sprint too.
Yeah.
When I get more endurance.
Yeah.
Because like...
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the older you get, it's easier to train. The more the endurance.
True. But also
like Clavo was saying, it's harder
special...
to maintain the fast muscle fiber twitches.
Yeah.
Fast twitching muscle fibers.
That might be. But I also think like we've done some testing, and I made some personal bests in the faster side too. So it's like, I think for me especially, like strength training is a big part. I do strength like twice a week, every week, which is like for some endurance athletes, like they do only once, or maybe once in 10 days.
Or like once in 2 years.
Yeah, well, that might be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one thing you have to
Fuck, I'm starting to... I'm
Maybe
starting to figure it out. I'm
yeah.
starting to figure it out,
That's good.
Yeah, that's not a good start, Mika. Like, good start of the season when there's a girl saying that you have a weak bottom.
Like as if my confidence wasn't destroyed after Bites already when I got smashed by a biathlete. Now Jasmi comes on and tells me, mate, you're weak as fuck.
I didn't say that though.
You kind of implied it. You implied it.
Yeah.
But when you talk about strength training, are you like doing lots of like hard gym, or is it more like
hard gym?
Yeah.
Mainly, like maximum strength.
Yeah.
Of course, we do some faster things too, and like it depends so much. Like every week we change it a little bit, but yeah, it's and of course a lot of core training too.
Okay.
But you've said you've done some personal best in your standard tests.
Yeah,
Does that mean we're gonna see you on the podium basically every weekend now?
we
I
will
really
see
want
that.
to.
We will see that. I hope that there's some others than Norwegians and Swedish.
Have you raced actually already? Because like in
Yeah,
Finland, the
I've-
season's been going on for almost a month already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
You
had
start so early.
couple weekends already.
And how was it?
It's been good start.
When did you start the season? Like,
2 weeks ago in Olos.
yeah, okay, but
Yeah, in
I'm pretty
Monio.
sure I thought I saw.
Oh yeah, there was already
Evo.
1 week or 2 weeks before in
Yeah.
Vuokatti. But this
Yeah.
year I decided not to do it because everyone says like, okay, you are racing so much. So then I'm like, okay, I might as well just skip first weekend so I can do more in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
a good one because every year people are like, the athletes are like, oh, we're racing so much, we're
Yeah.
racing so much, and then they don't start in Baita. They start the week before in Munio, and then they do like more races than they used to do. So
Yeah, and I think like this year my goal is the Olympics for sure. Like
yeah,
last year I was able to show the consistency. That was like one big goal for me. Like I want to be a consistent skier because I personally like of course I appreciate all the winners in the
Yeah.
world champs and Olympic champions. Like that's like the biggest goal for me too. But also I really like skiers who can show their shape the whole season because
Yeah.
that's something I appreciate a lot. And that's what I personally think is important. I have to like my like normal level have to be enough good so then I can dream of the medals in the
Yeah.
world champs. And I think that's the really important thing from the last season that I was able to grow the normal results.
yeah.
And that's like now there that in a good day I'm able to take the podium.
But when you say you're gonna focus, or your biggest goal is Olympics, what's your season gonna look like from now until the Olympics?
Because it's like a bit earlier than the world champs.
Yeah.
It's already in February.
Yeah, it's only
So-
4 weeks between Tour de Ski and
Exactly, yeah.
Olympics.
So I'm still gonna race in the World Cup. It's because I think all of those races, all the sprints before the World Cup or before the Olympics are really important. What comes to the training, because every heat you do with all these best skiers, that's what makes you better.
Yeah.
It's not like training by myself in the woods. That won't make me a better skier in the sprint heats, Or
yeah.
shape-wise, yes. But then there's all these other things like tactic and
But then to
For
counter that
sure.
argument, it's like, yeah, but all the traveling to Goms, for example, which is like insanely far
yeah,
away.
we will see if I skip 1 or 2 weekends.
okay.
But also like, I feel like it's important to keep the body like,
Stimulate.
yeah, exactly for the
Yeah.
races because last year I did like, I've never done so many heats in my
Yeah.
life, but then I was still able to ski well in March.
Yeah.
So then that was a good sign for me that my body is taking all the racing. Yeah.
Because I feel like for distance skiing, like just training by yourself, if you're gonna do an individual race, then like for sure. But like sprinting, you can see. Look at Chang Wang when he was at Olympics. Honestly, he won the prologue there in Beijing, and he was in the shape that I think he could have got like
Did he
a
win
medal.
the prologue?
He
in
won the prologue,
Beijing?
and he could
Yeah.
have been on the podium like
Yeah.
for sure. But he hadn't raced at all that year because of COVID, and China didn't want to send him to any races. So then he skied over as a skier and then got disqualified, and then it was
Yeah.
finished.
I
His
think it was
Olympic
Lowry.
finished. It was Lawyer Varnan. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So then it was like 100% agreed. You can't win Olympics if you can't win a World Cup.
Yeah. That's the
That I
thing.
agree.
Yeah.
That I agree. Fast forward to this weekend.
I'm looking forward for this weekend. I think I'm in better shape than ever before. So it's a good start, I think. Of course, like you can never predict what happens in the race. And it looks like it's getting warmer now.
I was just gonna say for everybody listening to this
Yeah.
podcast before the weekend, as of
Yeah.
now, it's forecast 0 degrees
Yeah.
and snow on
Yeah.
Friday on the classic race.
Yeah,
And
so
then
we will
it's
see like
+2 on the sprint or something.
what the weather looks like. But I mean, it's right now. It's been great winter here.
It's like -20 or
yeah,
-15
it's
outside.
so nice. But yeah, I look forward for it. And this is only the first weekend of the World Cup, so I'm not like super sad if it doesn't come, like if it doesn't go as I want it to go. But I also think like my normal level should be quite high.
So you're not like Jimmy and I, that you're just gonna be like completely devastated.
No, I don't
after
believe
first
that.
week.
It'll be fun.
But it's the best thing actually, in or it's actually a sad thing. It's not the best thing, but it's very interesting to see when you go to Beitostølen, for example. In Beitostølen, on the Sunday evening, Sunday after the race, you'll see 98% of all the people walking around with devastated faces because they're like, oh, I thought I was so much better than this.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like with the World Cup athletes and also like the ones that are like their main goal is at the Olympics.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in the best shape right now. But then what comes to like some like national skiers here in Finland, you have to do your best results right now if you want to come to the cup, like outside the World Cup, like the national team. So then you have to like do so well in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then you start already like, you know, like getting worse before the Olympics. But it's so important for some like skiers outside the national team to be in good shape here already.
It's been the last few years. It's been like Swedish domination in the women's side in Ruka. You're gonna change that.
Oh, I really hope so.
Yeah.
Imagine when we're gonna take like this snippet where Jasmi's saying, "I really hope so," and then we're gonna lay over the pictures of her winning on Saturday. It's mate. I can see this post blow up on Instagram.
You know, everybody that joins the podcast does really good afterwards.
Yeah.
We had
The last one was Einar Hedegaard, the favorite friend who's also an enemy of the show because he's a biathlete and biathletes are our enemies. That's just what we decided. What do you think? What do you think of biathlon, Jasmi?
I like biathlon.
No, come
it's
on.
A cool
No,
sport.
come on. This was
It's
the
a cool
wrong
sport,
answer.
you
Okay,
know?
we're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out. What do you say, Jimmy?
I mean, especially as a Finnish.
Yeah.
Do you even have any biathletes? Oh yeah, you do.
Oh, we
actually.
have a good ones. Yeah,
mean,
right
but-
now we have Suvi Minkinen.
I thought in Finland they hadn't even like really
I think
understood the fact that there's like skating as well.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But is Finland not the one country where you basically just do classic individual starts somewhere in the
No.
forest?
No.
Yeah, it's like every couple of weeks we receive a message of people that are like, "Oh, we need to have more 50K individual in the World Cup."
Yeah.
From like obviously it's like
They're
Finnish people.
Finnish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We've
It's like-
never ever
Okay.
gotten feedback from somebody saying they want more individual starts, 20K, from people that were not Finnish.
yeah.
The
Okay.
only people that say
That's
that
funny.
are from Finland.
That's
Yeah.
funny. No, personally I like skating. Like I think it's cooler, you know, to be a good in skating.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, because it's like there's more competition in skating. You
Even
know?
if you like-
I would say so.
Even
Yeah.
if you like stop every couple of laps and then do shoot for a bit and then start again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. And you should try it, and then you see how hard it is.
Yeah, Mika, you should try
I'm
to do
not
the
saying
sport.
it's not hard. I'm just saying it's shit. That's different.
Last time that Mika changed sport, it worked actually quite well for him. So maybe you should try that again. Do it, Mika.
Yeah.
Einar Hedegaard, I'm coming for you, but I'm gonna do it in biathlon this time.
That's good.
Okay, every time we have a guest on the show, we ask them a question, or 3 questions actually.
Okay.
You have one place where you do one session with 2 people. Where do you go? What do you do? Who do you take with you? It can be anyone alive or dead. It can be
Okay.
your dog that's running around. It can be-
No, I would do a perfect sprint session. The place I could do it here in Ruka, actually, or somewhere else. I don't know the place exactly.
No,
You don't
there
have
has
a
to be a
fi-
place.
fi-
There has
Oh,
to be
there
a
has to be a place.
You have
Okay.
to. You must have a favorite place.
Okay. Favorite place. I like Topla.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
I agree there.
Good choice.
I-
Good
I-
Okay,
choice.
I'll take Topla, and I will have Jonas Sundling and Kristina Skistad with me.
Not bad. Not
And then
bad.
how's the conversation gonna go?
I don't know. We don't need to talk. We can just ski.
I think it's a good.
No, but
thing
I
if you
like them
get-
both. Like I like all of them. Like, I don't want anything to like. I don't like, you know, how Swedish and Norwegians are like battling each other.
But it's
Like,
fun.
we're people.
No, but it's good. And also the good thing is if you don't have to talk, then the chances are going to be much higher that Kristina Stavashista is going to join you.
Okay, then I don't talk.
What I love with Shista is that she just takes oil and just throws it on the fire and just casually leaves and just let the drama unfold.
No,
very
but that's the
true.
thing. Like, okay, we need personalities. Like,
Yeah.
that's one thing when we get like where we get more like audience. We need different personalities, and
Yeah.
that's like the best thing
I agree.
of this whole thing. We have all these like great skiers.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the most important thing.
But
Yeah.
there's people that speak Swedish in Finland, right?
Yeah, that's
But-
like our second language.
Yeah, you're not one of them though.
No, I've been studying it for like 6-7 years, but I never use it. So yeah, but I understand quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think the fire is starting to go out here. The lights are being turned off on the ski
Yeah.
jumping hill. I think that's kind of a sign that we're not very far away from actually starting the World Cup season anymore. And we should really stop talking now and actually try to focus on skiing and see if we
that
can do
sounds like a
better
good plan.
That sounds
than
good.
we did before. Jasmi, thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Very important. Your self-acclaimed #1 Nordic skiing podcast. Skiers
Yeah.
Problems.
Over and out.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Serious problems.